Hey guys, we're going to go ahead and jump right into sinking funds, and I'm going to be walking through a tutorial with you on the real sinking funds that me and my husband Kyle have for our various goals and kind of expected expenses. So, what is a sinking fund? Basically, a sinking fund is for purchases that you don't make regularly. So you'll save monthly for that purchase, you'll set it aside, and then when it comes time to make that purchase, you just pull that money out of a separate savings account and then pay for the expense. Rather than trying to come up with, let's say, a couple $100 for car registration for the month of April, you would be saving for that car registration each month and then pulling it out to pay for that expense. So I typically break sinking funds down into three different categories. So expected expenses is the first category. So anything like insurance, car maintenance, car tags, subscriptions, all of those are expected expenses. And even though I may not be paying for them every single month, I'm setting aside that money every single month, so when it comes time for that payment to be paid, it's already ready to go. The second category that I save for are non-goals. Things like clothes, fun, apartment decor, that kind of stuff. I set aside money every single month. I may not spend every single month for those types of things, but I'll have the money set aside so that when something does pop up, I have enough money to just go ahead and pay for like a really nice coat or a pair of boots and not worry about it. And then the third category is goals. So bigger goals like saving for a new car, a down payment, vacation. I can set aside money every single month for that sinking fund. So let me go ahead and write out all of my different sinking funds, and I'll show you how I do this. Okay, so the first one is car insurance. And Kyle and I pay our car insurance premium every 6 months because we get a discount by doing it that way. So it's actually $368 every 6 months, which is $62 every month. So 62 is what I have to set aside for every single month for car insurance, and then I pay it in October and April. So in October I'll have $368 and I'll pay for the car insurance. Next is car registration and tags. And you can figure out exactly how much you spend on this by looking at last year's registration receipt. And so ours is kind of high in California. It's $324 per year. And so that means we have to set aside $27 a month for car registration. Next is renter's insurance. And that's $140 per year, or $12 a month. Then we also have jeweler's insurance for my wedding ring. And so that's $99 a year. And then I break that out into $8 a month. And if it turns out that you have some change in any of these amounts, just round up, it's no big deal. And then that way you have a nice round number to work with inside of your budget. So we also pay for a CPA to do our taxes, and she is $300 for the year. And that comes out to $25 a month. And then subscriptions. My subscriptions include things like my Chase Sapphire, Visa credit card, my San Diego Zoo membership, Netflix, Amazon Prime. We also have Disney Plus. any of those types of subscriptions, I just lump it into one category. Don't forget your phone apps. Like I have a subscription to Calm, and so that's, $60 for the year. So I just add up all of those subscription costs, which comes out to be $714 for the year. Yeah, subscriptions are a lot of money. So when I divide that out for the month, then it's just $60 that I have to set aside for all of those subscriptions. So these are what I would consider my expected expenses. I know they're going to happen sometime throughout the year. And I usually have inside of my budget, I'll have a note like renter's insurance is in October, car registration is in April, car insurance is in October and April. So you can always make notes inside of your budget to see exactly when these things are due so that you understand when you're going to pull that money out. Okay, so the non-goals, I have plenty of non-goals. I'm not saving for a specific amount, but I do have these as, okay, I'm going to be saving for these every single month. I'm going to roll that money over. And then when I want to make a purchase or I see something, then I'm good to go. I have the money. I don't have to worry about it coming out from other areas of my budget. So gifts definitely is part of that category. And I like to save $200 a month. And if you're like, oh, I definitely don't have room for $200 a month for gifts, try $10, try $25. And then you'll see, like, as that money's been earmarked, maybe you don't miss it in your budget and you can increase the amount over time. That's exactly what I did, especially during my debt-free journey. So then clothes, I like to save $150 per month for clothes. And then that way I could really save up for a big item. I could save for a nice coat. Or maybe Kyle wants a new pair of hiking boots. We can do something like that. So I usually have one for me and then Kyle has one for him. Now, if you're like $150 a month for clothes, like that seems a lot, or maybe that seems like a little, you're allowed to change those amounts anytime you want to. So it could be $150 one month, and let's say you build this up over time, and now you have $500 in your clothing budget. Shoot, you could make this zero for the next month and stop contributing to it until you spend that money. Next one I like to save for are fun money. So fun money we typically use for like movies, golf. We have a really fun boat day here in San Diego we like to save for. So I typically like putting $100 a month towards fun. Shopping actually gets used pretty regularly because I include all of my Amazon purchases in shopping and other little odds and ends that we'll buy throughout the month. So that one's a little bit higher, and I'll put $350 a month towards shopping. So that includes even like small things at Lowe's or Amazon purchases, Target runs, that sort of thing. A lot of times my home maintenance stuff comes out of this account. We don't own our home, we rent, but if we need something like light bulbs or paint, we'll typically pull that out of shopping. And then, I love this one, but apartment decor is another nice one to have. So I like saving for different furniture pieces, and I'm really into mid-century mod, so I'll put $150 per month towards the apartment decor. And if I see something that I really like on allmodern.com or Wayfair, if there's a new mid-century piece that I really like, then I can save for the money. And then when it comes time, I can shop sales and not worry about scrambling to come up with the funds. I've already got it set aside. And then Kyle really likes going to the chiropractor, and we were saving $40 a month. And then once we hit a certain threshold, like let's say $150, then we'll stop saving for it, and then he'll go to the chiropractor, and then we'll start contributing $40 again for his next visit. So my next area of sinking funds are goals. And so we are saving for a Jeep Wrangler. and I'm currently putting $750 a month towards this goal. The next one is a down payment, and Kyle and I have been saving for our down payment for several years now. I want to say it's been at least 3 years, if not longer, and we are really actively working on saving a big down payment. So the bulk of our discretionary income is going towards the down payment, $3,000 a month. And if you're like, holy crap, that's a lot of money, it's because we're debt free, and so we decided to live beneath our means and put a lot of money towards our down payment. Especially living in Southern California, we're really actively trying to build that up. Then I also have vacation, which hasn't been as much of a priority lately, but I'm currently setting aside $250 a month. And then I do extra investing on top of what we already contribute towards Kyle's work retirement account. And so that's currently at $200 a month. Okay, so this entire list, this money is earmarked inside of our budget. So even though I'm setting aside this money, this amount of money every single month, I'm not spending it until it becomes due, until there's a moment in time for like my non-goals where I'd like to spend that money, until we hit our goal amount for the Jeep Wrangler, or until we find a home that we're ready to put a down payment on. So none of this money gets spent until we say so, but it is earmarked inside of our budget every single month. Now, if you're wondering where we're putting all of this money, because we're not technically spending it, right? We're saving it. We set this money aside in a separate savings account. I personally like using Ally. It's an online bank that earns over 1% in interest, but you can use whatever you want to as long as it's separated, because the separation means that you won't accidentally spend this money on something else. You can even include different subcategories inside of your Ally savings account and earmark it for its specific purpose. I think Capital One 360 also has the ability for you to set up multiple savings accounts in that way. So do what works best for you. I just wanted to give you a realistic idea of how you can do this for yourself. So find out whatever that expected expense costs you within the year, divide that out by 12, and then start saving for it monthly. And for your non-goals, you can also pick a certain amount and start saving for that monthly as well. And then with your goals, if your goal is more fluid, like our down payment, we know we wanted to hit $100,000. We've already hit that, but we still want to continue to save for it. Then make sure that's the priority in your budget. Okay, so that's how you set up your sinking funds. If you want more ways to help you save and control your spending, be sure to check out my How to Control Your Spending workbook. It's loaded with tons of activities and trackers to help you get your spending under control so you can crush your debt and your other financial goals. I will link to that in the description below, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.